This is my 2009 Nissan 370z, and if you've been following along, we've been rebuilding this car because it was dead for 2 years. But today we're going to put on these hood pins and then also try to mount my 9 Lives Racing splitter. But not everything goes to plan. I am literally stuck here, out of gas, at a car wash. Nothing's going right. So let's get started. But before we do, I am trying to reach 10,000 followers on YouTube. So please make sure to hit that like and subscribe. And I think we can hit that goal by the end of this year. Let's get it. So the first thing I want to start with is actually installing the splitter first. So this thing is massive, dude. Like, as you can see, I have my 370Z behind me. So let's pray that this actually fits. It's about time. I've been holding on to this for about 7 months now, maybe more. So I'm going to quickly see if these brackets, which I did not show those yet, but I wanted to showcase this specifically because I think that is sick. Like, their logo is etched on there. Now, will you ever see this? No. It's cool that it's there, you know what I mean? And then, of course, I'm gonna show where this gets mounted. So this does not get mounted to your bumper. That's what everybody does. Don't do that. You need to actually mount the splitters properly. And then this is the part where I'm most concerned because these are technically for 350Zs, but as you guys know, or anybody, or maybe you don't know, but a lot of the times Nissan carry overs a lot of parts. So it's possible that that still can very much fit. But if this fits, then everything else would be totally fine. And I just gotta drill into the splitter. So my hood pins. So let's just go ahead and get started, see how far we can get. Guess what? This car has not started in a month and is dead. Plug that thing in and fire it up. So this will be a 1 month cold start. What's an automotive influencer video without a cold start and saying, sorry neighbors? We're just gonna go ahead and let the charger sit on the battery for a little bit, but I'm impatient. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with tearing off the front bumper and yeah, putting on this. I really hope this goes on, so we'll find out. So we do have to take off the bumper and a couple of other bits, but I'm gonna put on the 9 Lives Racing 350Z Sturdy Boyz just to see if they can fit and work for a 370. But full disclaimer, this is not how they get installed, but I just wanna see if they fit. All right, it's gonna be a little hard to show you guys with one hand, but unfortunately, yeah, like this is super close to working, right? It's just, it needs to be extended down. So I even put it down to the 2 bolts here. So that way it's just like, you know, as low as it can get. But unfortunately, it's not gonna clear the radiator support and the front support at all. So this needs to come down, I think, like another inch or so. So it might be a cool job for Pierre to help me out because I mean, it works. It's all there, it makes sense. And then on this side, flanky. Oh, I missed, that was on me. So this thing is pretty sick. So it's supposed to help with the support on the sides here. You know, like you place it obviously where it makes sense. And then this would go to this bracket that I just put onto the car. But as you guys can see, it's like, that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? So what I'm thinking is I can take this over to Pierre and just like cut there and then like maybe angle it more up or have it like, he would probably make the most sense with how this can get installed properly. But I'm thinking maybe at like a 45 and then like welded there properly. So that way this thing can be, I don't know where I would place it, but probably somewhere like along there, and then it just goes up like that. So that, I mean, that's how these things work. It makes more sense. You're gonna see those weirdos that put like supports on a bumper and you don't do that. So what I am gonna see, because the other option I can think of to at least get this mounted up for now, get a couple of washers and maybe some longer bolts and nuts. That way I could just feed it through and, you know, that's that. So the holes will be already pre-existing and it might help Pierre already with like, okay, cool, this is like where it gets installed, but a little bit of welding is required. So the car's not gonna drive anywhere super far or anything, and it's definitely not going on track anytime soon until next year. So it's like, whatever, let's just get it mounted and then see when he has time, because he's also a very busy man. So he's still helping out with Forsberg and doing his own thing and also working with FCP Euro, so it's pretty sick. By the hardware store, see what I can find and cook up, and let's see if we can just get this like placed on, just at least for the flex, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that thing has enough juice. But this gives you like a small idea of like how it's gonna look. It's just obviously not mounted onto the car, but I really want to try to get this on today, so that way I can just at least see how it looks, and then we can make it truly functional later. All right, now hardware store. Well, we got it. So got a couple of bolts, 2 nuts for the core support. Like that way I can bolt up the bracket properly, because I only just had 1 bolt, but not the nut itself. So I'm gonna continue this in the AM tomorrow, because I probably should have got started on this a lot sooner, but I'm a procrastinator when it comes down to installing mods. I always just think it's gonna go super fast, and it never does. And then hopefully I can also dive into cutting into the hood, because I just wanna have like everything situated so this car's ready to be wrapped and there's no complaints. So there's always something, you know what I mean? Anywho. Finally! Holy hell. After 1 whole month, this thing finally is running, but it's on ethanol, so that's why I didn't want to just have the car sitting so long without it running. At least fire it up once, but let's get back to it. So we finally tackled the 370Z, and it runs again for like, this is probably the 8th millionth time I've ever said that, but now, this is where the drilling begins. All right, so now we're taking off the front bumper for, it feels like the 80th time in this video. And this is how the Sturdy Boyz look when they're mounted. Now, again, this isn't correctly mounted, but we just want to see how this looks when it's put together. But like I said in the beginning of this video, this is an on-3 media video, and it doesn't always go as planned. Okay, so now the plan is to just go ahead and put the bumper on to find where I can place the lips. That way I can make sure that it's even. What was there's some type of saying, measure 3 times cut once, or cut 3/8 equals a 7. We're gonna figure this out. But as you guys can see here, I'm using the box to place the splitter where I want it to be, and just make sure that when I release the bumper, that I'm gonna be making holes in the correct area. And once I've marked the holes, I pull out the nifty handy dandy drill, making sure that we're good to go and keep moving forward. But look how sick it looks. And just like that, we have successfully failed. Unfortunately, it has to have fabrication. The 350Z Sturdy Boy mounts aren't gonna work, and I'll show you why. As cool as it might look, you can at least see the idea. I used the box to prop it up to at least see where the drill and stuff. So the holes are correct, and that's awesome. And like I said, it looks dope as hell, but the issue is that I need to get the bumper pushed back more. So the bracket needs to be flipped around. I can't really show you much, I think. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So I don't know if you guys can see in there, but I have the bracket flipped the long way, and I need to bring it to the short way. But unfortunately, it doesn't clear lower than the subframe. Unfortunately, this is where it's gonna have to stay paused. But I will say though, I am super stoked with how it looks. Like, it's dope. Here, let me move this. It's not even doing nothing no more. It does look absolutely sick. Like, I love it, and it's functional. That's what I love. I think it's what, 500 pounds of downforce up front, which is awesome because it helps balance out the big old 9 Lives Racing wing. I'm gonna have to take everything out, bring the other race car, and just take 2 cars when I get this thing wrapped. And let's see if Pierre has the time to help me out. Now we're bringing out the big guns, because in the last clips, I failed a little bit getting the front lip on, and it's okay. We're gonna move on. And my favorite Frenchman actually is too busy for me, but I still love you. But now we're gonna move on to getting the hood pins on. This is something that's a little bit more difficult, and personally, my first time. So what can go wrong, right? We can't be 2 for 2 for fails. So let's do it. All right, so now the goal is to actually install this into this, but what I'm gonna do is use the OEM holes. So that means I have to take off the shroud, and I'm going to use this area so that way I can just put the rod straight through and just have the latches in like an OEM area. And then that means, of course, I have to cut through the carbon hood. But I mean, what can go wrong, right? Messing up a $1,200 hood ain't no shit. So let's start with getting this thing disconnected. And leave it to Tiny Lady for, yeah, she got her little Temu sponsor. So Nor, we're gonna use this. But yeah, I need some of those tools. Thank you. Mwah. So cute ass. Also, I want to show you guys what I'm gonna use. So this might look and sound like a little ghetto, but hear me out, right? I wanted to get a thin piece of aluminum so that way I could put that here. Oh wait, put that here, and then I don't know if the rods fit through that, but it's okay. Like if they fit through these holes, and if they don't, it's fine. I'll just drill out a hole and make it bigger. The holes and already having a piece of aluminum that already has holes in it might be just easier for me, since obviously I'm not much of like a cutter, fabricator, stuff like that. Just make it as simple as possible. So let's test the theory. But it is a thick enough gauge that it's not gonna, like, in theory, bend and make this hood fly up. I don't know. Just wanna make sure that it's installed properly. Let's get started. Leave it to Bella using my wing to be a dinner table. You're making my wing be the meme. All right, back to the montage. All right, so this works out perfect. Like the holes line up perfectly, and then even the middle one right here, I can just send the rod through. This worked out better than expected. So, but yeah, random little piece of sheet metal from Home Depot. Girlfriend using my wing as a dinner table. We all lit. And now we're gonna go ahead and cut the metal. So as you can see, I put on my heat wave safety glasses. They're not really safety glasses, but this is what I got. Now we're gonna start cutting. So that way I can bolt this up and then just bore out the hole a little bit for the rods for the arrow catch. So this is not as hard as you think so far. Let's see if this Dremel will actually cut through the hood though. That's my only concern. Okay, sick. Made a little piece, and now let's bolt it up. So I think I'm gonna do this, probably bolt under, maybe? I don't know, so that way it's a cleaner look. I'll spray this black, but I think I'm gonna bolt it under, and then we'll move forward with boring out the hole to put the hood pins in. And here we go, here at On3 Fabrication. Look at us, it's coming together. So now, I'm gonna bore this thing. As you can see, this goes through smoothly, pretty sick. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that like semi bolted up, because obviously we're not done. I wanna get done with the other side. And then of course we have to use that to mark some holes here, so that way I can start drilling into the hood. And then we will put on the top parts, which honestly, this is probably, in my opinion, the more annoying part, which is trying to find somewhere to mount it all up. But I mean, we're making good progress so far. Like, this is way easier than my front lip install. So like, I'm just stoked about that. Everything was going all bad and now it's all good. This is the part that can get a little annoying, because what I'm doing here is making sure that the pins itself are aligned properly. Later in the video, you're gonna see that I made a little bit of mistake, but still close enough. And I'm just double checking to make sure that everything is looking legit. Now I pulled out the drill and I'm going through my very expensive carbon fiber hood, so that way we can get these latches on and make sure that my hood doesn't shake while I'm driving on the highway. All right, I'm gonna choose this point as a stopping point because, you know, it's getting a little too dark and little lady's getting hungry. You're always hungry. But yeah, so I already started drilling in, but what I did not realize was that there's like a little metal piece in here, so it's just gonna take a little bit longer than I thought for tonight. So I'm in no rush. I have one more day to finish this, and I think like tomorrow night is more than enough time. So let's pack it up. I'm hungry. I want to eat. I'm hungry. All right, so I pulled a boo-boo and forgot to bring the SD card as she's just downing a sandwich, but I forgot to bring my SD card, so I'm using my phone, but I went ahead and just made some cuts now. Not the most beautiful cuts, pretty big, but it's because you still do have to bore out the holes. So that way you can, you know, I have to still tighten these bolts and nuts anyway, so it's gonna be fairly big. But now I've already made the rods match up, and as you can tell, I missed on that one, but thankfully it's gonna cover it. This one was done absolutely perfect. You can't really see, but it's hitting it exactly where it needs to. So I'm gonna go ahead and trace this out. You just have to make like a little line on the inside of this thing, so that way this can dip in. After that, like, you know, make the marks for these holes. We're at the final stages. So it's honestly not that bad. It's not that bad to do. It's just a little time consuming, but it's not hard because Bella did a live just now and people were like, oh, is it hard to install hood pins? Not on a carbon hood, because you can get through the hood pretty fast. But if this was aluminum, then, or like steel or whatever, I would give it to a shot, but I'm gonna finish up. All right, finally got this thing in. So I already drew the marks for the holes, and it's good. I'm gonna have to do some finagling to get it to match up perfect, but it seems like it's gonna be kind of a pain in the ass to get on and off. I don't know, we're gonna find out, but now I need to do the other side. All right, as you guys can see, done. So I do like transparency, you know, I want to show you guys my mistake. I actually do have to adjust the pins, and of course you have to cut the living hell out of the bottom of the hood so that way you can bolt it up. And the one right here in the top corner, I have to figure out how I'm going to get in there, because this little piece is kind of a pain when it comes down to cutting that off. And also, like, I tried to use the Dremel and it started to kind of ignite a little bit, so I want to be careful and not just, like, you know, set the car on fire. I might be overreacting, but I just want to play it safe. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and slot the bracket so that way I can get the hood pins in properly, because it only missed by a little bit, so should be fine. But overall, never doing this again. All right, so multiple things going on here. One, I totally forgot to get my SD card. Two, it looks like we ran out of fuel, but I wanted to show you guys how it ended up coming out, and like the hood pins work just fine. This one, it's like a little bit of a struggle. Like I gotta like, yeah, well, I mean, it came out fine, but let me show you guys what I did. So yeah, I mean, it came out pretty clean, like using, I mean, it sucks that I'm using two different poles, but I had to like make another hole, shift it up a little bit to fit into here. As you guys can see, I had to cut a ton, but it made the car super dirty, so I thought, why not get it cleaned? And then I ended up just running out of fuel. So I totally forgot I was driving this car to work a couple of times, and yeah, maybe should get gas before leaving places, but let's wash this thing up. So this thing's finally clean, and I forget how dope black cars are when you clean them up. But something I just thought about was, what if like the whole, because for those who don't know, I've been having fuel pump issues where I had to like hardwire the fuel pump with the, and even though it has a relay kit, like I had to hardwire the signal wire to the battery to get power. But now I'm wondering is if because of that issue, if I'm only getting out of the gas tank that's over there, because I believe there's another side that maybe I might not be getting access to. So that's probably why I ran out of gas. But overall, whatever. The girlfriend's coming over to fill this thing up, but couldn't have been at a more perfect place to run out of gas. But this thing is hot. Hood pins, everything, hot. It looks sick. All right, so it looks like I found the actual problem. So over here, my fuel line, you can't really see it, but it looks like it popped out. And all this shit here, E85, wasted on the ground now. So, and that's just shit I just pumped too. So hopefully I have enough to get back to the station. But now I need to pump this thing up, and I have to get this car in the air to put that line back in. So thankfully girlfriend brought the fit, but I did not expect to spend Thanksgiving like this at all. But here we are. Bro, all of that for this, right? Where is it? Damn, can't even show you guys, huh? There we go. Wait, yeah, all of that for that line right there, bro. So finally, I don't know, I'm gonna power this up. I want to clip this back on, make sure that we're all good. I have no idea how this slipped out, but I guess it's from when I was at Forsberg's. I think I'm the one that attached that fuel line, so it's on me, but hopefully it was just straight up loose, so this should just fix it. I was kind of nervous that it was broken entirely, but we look all good, so let's find out. All right, so thanks to my tiny lady, looks like we're good to go. Fuel pump is powered on. Gonna wrap this up. I ruined Thanksgiving. I love you. I'm sorry. We're rolling. This was not the Thanksgiving that I expected in the least bit, but here we are. I mean, this video was literally supposed to be out in Thanksgiving because it was supposed to be smooth, the car's already done, but it's okay. That life throws a lot of things at you, and I feel like this entire video is like, no matter what, we don't give up. So let's get this thing fueled up and home. All right, so now I can finally show you guys on the proper camera, but the mounts are sick, nice and flush, came out good. Car overall looks awesome. Absolutely love this thing. But finally got gas in it. Today I'm super tired of. I just want to go home, so I'm going to finish this up tomorrow. Finally made it home. I have no idea what caused the fuel line to pop loose, but here we are. At least we made it. A lot has happened in this, and unfortunately one of them was a big fail, the other one was a success, and then this one kind of a fail, but I didn't even touch this. I don't even know how it broke, but here we are. But I'm glad that the hood pins are situated, so now I can get the car wrapped, no problem. Car's clean, looks beautiful, looks really sick. Like, makes me really appreciate black cars, especially when they're clean. The 9 Lives Racing front lip, that will get put on eventually, but I just need some help, some fabrication, and then that way I can lower the bracket about, I would say 4, maybe 3 inches, so that way it fits properly for a 370Z. But funny enough, like, everything, all the other bracketry fits almost perfect. So there's like 2 things I want to cut and modify and should be good to go. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Now I was supposed to, like I said in the video, I was supposed to go to Rap Legends, and already, like, this car was already supposed to be in the shop, but Thanksgiving, they were asking me if I can get in there earlier, but I just couldn't at the moment. So I was like, dude, just enjoy the holiday. Don't even worry about it. And I'm kind of glad that we did this and that we didn't go anyway, because it looks like we needed to do a shakedown and also full transparency. I haven't done a nut and bolt check on the car yet, so I'm glad that this happened here and not on the highway. But thank you guys for watching. Next time you see me, car will be a different color. Enjoy your holiday. I love you. Bye. Thank you guys for watching. As a reminder, we're trying to hit 10K, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button.